Welcome one, welcome all. Time once again for Formula One action coming to you live from North America. Round 5 of the F1 League. It's time for a trip to the Austrian countryside, and the Red Bull Ring. I am Benikage with you here tonight for round 5. We're back in action. First few rounds. We were unable to get the past 3 rounds. I was unable to come and broadcast this with you, but we're back here tonight, and it's good to be back. Quite frankly, A1 Ring, now known as the Red Bull Ring, is going to be home for our race here tonight, round 5, like we said, of the of the season. As we've got, beg your pardon, just want to take a pause here to go over the standings with you. So we missed the last race, 3 races. No stream for the last 3 races, but we've got a little update in the graphics, shall we, real quick. Maybe I can actually add this in OBS very, very, very quickly. So I beg your pardon. It's the one thing that I realized on the fly I probably should have added, and that is the standings. So let's get that up on screen, shall we? Let me just really quickly just put it in here for you. So here are your standings. Rafa, 4 DNFs. He's down there at the bottom. Gamer, who will not be here with us tonight. He cannot show. He's down there in 16th place. 12th place finish is his best finish. And then you've got Firefox in 15th with a 10th place finish. He's got 1 point. Unknown with 2 points in 14th. He's with us here tonight. Gwenny's in 13th. He DNF'd last race. He could not be with us here tonight. Herticles, I should say, is 4 points in 12th. Then you've got Steph Farrell in 11th with 10 points. Had 1 DNF mixed in there at Spa. Jackie Jack in 10th place on 11 points. Bobino, the Canadian, 14 points for him. He's going to move up 1 spot in the McLaren. He is in 9th. Fizzymon in 8th with 1 DNF at the Yas Marina circuit. Giovanni Santos could not start the last 2 races. He is also not with us here tonight. He is in 7th on 22 points. Axel in 6th on 32. Sabbath is going to be in 5th on 36. Igor in 4th on 45. Murphy's Law is in 3rd on just 47. That's a very large gap. You see 29 points the gap to Lucas Jan in 2nd. And that's going to be 65 for him. 3-time winner, though, Flavio, who came 2nd in the Yas Marina race that Lucas Jan did win, at the top currently on 94. The constructor standings, Haas F1 team down at the bottom, 9th place with 2 points. Alfa Romeo is in 8th on 11. Alpine are just 2 ahead of them in 7th. McLaren just a point ahead of them in 6th. Scuderia AlphaTauri are going to be in 5th place, 36 points. A good gap between them and the 6th place McLaren at 22, and then it's 12 ahead for the sister team of Scuderia Ferrari. Aston Martin are going to be in 3rd. Red Bull Racing are going to be in 2nd place, and then 92 points, over double of the Red Bull points is the gap up to Mercedes there in 1st. Those are your standings, but we got a race. We got a race to get to. And let's get to that qualifying session real quick. A race that we want to get straight into the action for. Igor has set the first lap. He's on the sorry, I should hide the UI. There you go. He's on the 103, which is going to be a very competitive time around here, it has to be said. And then we've got, sorry, just trying to, I've alt-tabbed to the wrong window. I meant to alt-tab to OBS to change one setting. Jackie Jack is in 3rd. Flavio's just gone with the 103.7. Only 10 turns around the A1 wing here as Bobino gets the 105 going. 105.1 for Bobino. And who do we've got next? We got Igor coming into the pit, so that's going to leave. Where is Sabbath and Fizzymon is the question. Looks like Fizzy is going to be the first to cross the line between the 2 of them. Sabbath as well, maybe the beneficiary of a little bit of a slipstring, although he is pretty far back, it has to be said. So 1 minute 3 the time to beat so far. Lucas Jan starts his flying lap as well. Just keeping an eye on times coming in. Flavio 1:03.7, but let's go with Lucas Jan here. We're going to keep the telemetry on for qualifying for you, so you have a good use of battery usage and where they are. It's around this first sector to run down to a really tricky, tight kind of turn 2 here. You can really lose the back end of the car as you go down the hill towards the right-hand side. Now around the left-hander, and there it is. Round does go Lucas Jan, so those tires cooked, and so is the lap. Firefox has invalidated his lap, but he's got Rafa right behind him in his sister Alfa Romeo. What can Rafa do? Can Rafa, I believe Rafa's probably diving into the pits at this rate. Yeah, but Igor is back on an out lap. So out lap for Igor. And you can see trying to improve on that 1:03 in the second sector here. Balbino's already done 2 laps on the soft, so you got to think going to be coming into the pits here as Igor is going to start the flying lap. Nice exit there from turn 10, and now to start the flying lap, the run up to a tricky turn 1. The back end also really wants to get loose in there. You got to be careful not to cut that corner too much, but he's got it stuck to the track, does Igor. And now flying up the hill towards turn number 3. Purple in sector 1. He's improved on his sector 1 time. How's he going to fare going into sector 2? Let me know if the audio is okay for you all, by the way. It's been a hot minute, but it's good to be back. You see, just right on the limit of that 5th gear, and ooh, it's invalidated the lap. He's hugged that turn, that inside turn too much, and the lap is invalidated. Now, Lucas Jan also on a flying lap. Running in a high gear, presumably to keep the revs low. As Lucas gets ready to come across and start his flying lap. So round across turn 10, is he going to nail it? It looks like he just did. And he will start his flying lap, the run up to turn 1. DRS open, using every inch of the track that he can. Nice cut. Almost runs it too wide on the exit, but he does just fine. Now running down to turn number 3. Pretty good so far. Now he's got the run down to turn number 4. I'm trying to see if I forgot that I had Steam notifications, because this is a LAN center. So every time I come here, I forgot that I have the Steam notifications on. I'll have to turn them off. But I don't think they're coming through on stream just yet. Anyway, sector 3 looking okay as Lucas is going to back out. He's stuck behind. He got stuck behind a car. He's going to back out of this one and maybe try for another run later on. So, what do we got? Igor, or I'm sorry, Flavio on a flying lap. Igor on an out lap. Fizzy's up to P4. He's on an out lap. Or he's on a flying lap. I beg your pardon. Jackie Jack also on a flying lap. Raph on a flying lap. Bobino's on a flying lap as well. Firefox has done 6 laps on the mediums. And Lucas is 1:11. Is the slowest time, but that's right now, but that should definitely change. Certainly you think Lucas is going to be fighting up there for pole position. What can Flavio do though? His Mercedes teammate Coming flying around the final corner. What can he do? Is he going to come up to the line? It's going to be close. And it's Flavio with pole position, provisional pole for Flavio, 103.4. Excellent stuff from him as Balbino comes across the line. Cannot improve on his 104.7. But there it is. There's the flying lap from Lucas Jan, who does a second lap on his soft compound tires. And it's a 103.3, a 10th quicker, really 99 1,000ths of a second quicker than Flavio, his Mercedes teammate. So Mercedes 1-2, did you expect anything different? Axel doing well for P4 right now in the AlphaTauri, although he's on an invalidated lap. Igor in the Red Bull is P3. And he's got an invalidated lap, so you got to think that he's going to be coming into the pits. He gets out of the way of, I believe that's Fizzy, yes, and the Aston Martin, who's dropped down to P5. Jackie Jack in the Alfa Romeo. I'm sorry, Fizzy down to P6. Jackie Jack in the Alfa Romeo is P5. Rafa also in the Alfa Romeo. He's coming into the pits. Steph's in the pits. Bobino's in the pits. Steph, of course, in the Alpine. Here's Murphy's Law. He's on an invalidated lap. Let's go. Firefox is coming into the pits currently. Yeah, brake hard, son. Got to make sure you get that, get it under the limits. Igor on an invalidated lap. So it's Axel on a flying lap in the AlphaTauri. What can Axel do? Late apex there in turn number 4 really will catch people out. Pretty tight through the middle sector from Axel. Sector 3, how's that gonna be though? He's got just about 8 seconds left and he's gone way wide out of turn 9. He's invalidated the lap. He's gone way too wide out of turn 10. And so Axel's time, which would have been a slight improvement, will not count. It's still invalidated. Now everyone in the pits, waiting for maybe one last run at it. Verticals here, going for the flying lap. He's going to come across the line. It's a 106.1. He does not improve his time. 3/4 of a second off the pace. Will he go for another flying lap is the question. Igor and Axel already 2 laps on their softs. You got to think they're coming into the pits as well. But 5 minutes in the session remaining, and here's how we stand. Firefox at the bottom on a 106.3. In 13th, that's on the mediums. Herticles in 12th on the softs, 105.3. It's a 105.1 for Murphy's Law in 11th. And the top 10, Sabbath in 10th with a 104.8. Bobino with a 104.7 in 9th. A slightly quicker 104.7 for Steph Farrell in 8th. As Rafa in 7th has a 104.5. 104.1 for Fizzy Monty and Aston Martin in 6th. Jackie Jack 104.1, a little bit quicker in 5th. Axel the 103.8 for 4th. Igor's got the 103.5 for 3rd. Then a 103.4 for Flavio in 2nd, and a 103.3 for Lucas in pole position. Herticles does do a second flying lap, but it is a 10th slower, and so he will remain in 12th with his 105.3. I did not mean alt tab, but I might as well use it to turn off those notifications I'm getting when friends come online and offline. That would be helpful. So Lucas, Flavio on the outlaps. Steph and Bobino also on outlaps. We're getting one last run here from our competitors. Remember, short track here in the A1 ring. as Herticles dives into the pit, so Bobino will start his flying lap. He'll be the first one on a flying lap. Lucas Jan is right behind him. Behind him is his teammate, Flavio. Then it looks like it's Steph Farrell. Let's see what Bobino can do. Can he improve on the 104.7? There is nice tight turn 2. Just kisses the apex. Nicely done from this McLaren. What can he do? He's going around the middle sector here, the end of middle sector. He's 0.03 of a second up on his time, but won't be enough to really leapfrog him. Maybe Steph Farrell. Maybe he could challenge for that time. He's got one more corner to go. Turn 10, the elusive turn 10. Can he keep it on the track? He just does. He'll come across the line, and it's just a little bit slower. It's 0.05 of a second slower for Bobino. Lucas Jan is the next across the line. He's invalidated his lap. So it's on Flavio now, who sticks it and comes across the line, and Flavio will not improve. Neither will Steph Farrell. Rafa starts his flying lap. And now Jackie Jack across the line, and it's a 104.1. Jackie Jack improves his time. He pips Fizimon for 5th position. Now then, Murphy's Law starting his second lap. He's on a 105.1. Igor has retired from the session. Axel does not go any quicker. Bobino coming around now. 0.2 up on his sector 2 time. Can he keep it on the track? And it's Bobino improving to a 104.5. He takes 9th off of Steph Farrell, but that's all he improves to right now. We've got Herticles, 105.5. He cannot break he cannot break the time he set, the 105.3 that he set. Now, what else is on the track? Steph Farrell cannot improve his time. Rafa and Bobino have the exact same time, a 104.542. Lucas Jan retires. Not enough time for him. Flavio, not enough time for him either. Coming into the pits, Fizimon now trying to go quick, trying to improve, and he's up in the 3rd. Fizimon breaks the 103s, 103.8. He moves up, he's up in the 4th. He moves up in the 4th position. Flavio out. Axel and Sabbath are done. 5th and 6th for them. Fizzy is pulling off the gas. Now, who is going to come across the line? Herticles is going to be next. He crosses the line, still can't improve on the 105.3. That'll be his final time. Bobino is in the pits. He's done for it. So now, Steph Farrell coming into the pits. It's all on Jackie Jack and Murphy's Law. Jackie Jack has found 2/100ths of a second. Murphy's Law here is going to be the first of these two to cross the line. It's the last 2 players across the line. Jackie Jack actually just going to straight up retire. Murphy's Law going for it, and he improves and takes 2 positions away. Jackie Jack finishing 8th, Sabbath 7th, but that is your grid. Lucas Jan 1st, Flavio 2nd, Igor 3rd, Fizimon 4th, Axel is in 5th, Murphy's Law 6th, Sabbath is 7th, Rafa 8th, Bobino 9th, Steph Farrell 10th, Herticles 11th, Firefox 12th, and Jackie Jack, well, it says disqualified, but I believe he finished P7. I had water go down the wrong pipe, but there it is. There you have it. Let's look at the race director for you. Incidents. So there you go. I took a big old swig of water. It went down the wrong pipe. Apologies, gang. But there's your qualifying times. The two Mercedes pole. It's a front row lockout from the two Mercedes, and then Igor in P3. We'll see how they fare. I believe we might be getting a new lobby. I believe we do a lobby reset. I will confirm. Let me confirm with you, gang, if we're going to get a lobby reset or not. We're not. So this rain, that would explain why drivers were willing to do 2, 3, 4, 5 laps on tires, because we have a wet start to our Austrian Grand Prix. Rain at the Red Bull Ring. Well, this is awfully interesting, ladies and gentlemen. It is rain at the Red Bull Ring. But it's dry tires for all of our drivers. So maybe conditions not as bad as the weather would seem to imply. But it's going to be a really wild start to this race if the track is any sort of damp. And we got Marlies doing the rain dance. But it's not, like I said, it's not necessarily wet enough for wet tires or even intermediate tires. So last of the drivers you can see at the back just lining up on their grids. And 5 lights, and we are underway here from the A1 ring. 36 laps around this circuit. And we have got Lucas Jan off to a very good start. There's the McLaren in the back getting pushed off quite a bit, going through the first few corners. How is it? A little wide from some cars, the Ferrari, the AlphaTauri in particular, but everybody gets through fine for relatively. As you can see, let's go with the positions. Jackie Jack's up 3 positions. A nightmare start for Babino, who's back 4 positions in last place. Herticle's also up 2 positions so far. Lucas, though, gets away cleanly. As we're going to go through the field here, Flavio gets away as well in second. He's pretty clean. Igor running third. You can see him on the screen now. Fizimon in fourth in the Aston Martin. Axel in fifth. Murphy's Law in sixth. We've got a yellow flag. It's Steph Farrell. Steph's going around in the Alpine. And so has Babino in the McLaren. Nightmare stuff for Steph Farrell, but a long way to go. Definitely recoverable. Lucas Jan, the fastest opening lap at a 1:15.5. And already out to an absolute flyer of a start, over a second ahead of the teammate and Flavio. Igor very close to this gearbox of Flavio. Looking for the move as Herticles and Jackie Jack fighting side by side in the back, by the way. The Alfa Romeo getting by. Very nice move from Jackie Jack, sticking it. Now the Ferrari hungry for P9 and can't seem to get the move done. Firefox really wanting P10, I should say. And oh, the AlphaTauri's taking a spin. The AlphaTauri is spun. That's Herticles. So has Babino. The weather catching a few drivers out. And now Rafa. P8 trying to gain on Sabbath in front. You also got Igor up in P3 trying to gain some position. There's a spin as well. Is that Fizzy? No. Yes, it's Fizzymon. Fizzy's had a spin. I haven't seen quite what's happened. DRS is enabled, so the track is definitely dry, or drier, according to race control. Fizzy with a spin. There's another spin. Is that Fizzy again? It is Fizzy again. There's an Aston Martin in the back spinning. It's Fizzymon. Doesn't look like there's damage to the front wing. Herticles is going to dive into the pits behind you. So an early pit stop for the AlphaTauri. The question is, what is the tire choice going to be? Is it going to be intermediates? It's going to be a no-shit. It's going to be softs. So going with the soft compound tire. Meanwhile, up at the front, Igor trying to gain on Flavio. Also in the midfield, you've got 2 battles going on. You got to watch Igor and Flavio there for the battle for P2, but you also got Sabbath and Rafa here, this battle for P6 going on. Babino's going into the pits as well. What is Babino choosing to go on to? He has chosen the medium compound tire, it looks like. So Babino, medium compounds for him. And so we're going to watch Igor. Oh, trying to get by. They're going to go 3 wide. The McLaren getting out of the way. And Igor up the run, up the hill with the DRS, has got the move. Second place for the Red Bull. Sabbath, meanwhile, fighting with Jackie Jack. Let's go to that one. Side by side they go. The Aston Martin and the Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo again making the move in turn 3 stick. That's Jackie Jack up the P7. He's got his teammate in front, DRS enabled as well. Not enough room here to get his teammate. He could go for a dive up the inside, but he thinks better of it. And probably rightly so, because Savitz was ready to follow him into that move. Meanwhile, elsewhere on the track, also got to be careful of Murphy's Law here, who could be trying to gain on Axel for P4. Lots of early scraps to keep an eye on here. Rafa already with track extension penalty for 3 seconds. Run down the turn 1, the shortest of the DRS straights, really. Not enough room for Murphy's Law. Oh, the McLaren spins again. That's Babino. Meanwhile, we're keeping an eye on all gaps, all fights here. 4 points. Murphy's Law trying to get the move done. Jackie Jack, meanwhile, trying to get by his teammate, who is Raf, who has got the 3-second time penalty. Flavio also looking towards gaining on Igor. Jackie Jack getting very close to Rafa. And Jackie Jack's got the medium compound tire on as well, so as these laps continue to go, Rafa should be getting closer and closer to being reeled in here. Jackie Jack down the front straight with the DRS open is going to get awfully close, but again, that's straight, the shortest of the three. And that's a very wide take from Sabbath behind the two Alfa Romeos. That's going to invite the Ferrari into proceedings. DRS is open. Can this Ferrari get anything done? Firefox is going to take a look towards the outside, maybe. He goes for the switchback, but just can't get it to stick. Very loose there. Yellow flag. Who is that spun? Is that Fizzy again? Yes, it is. Fizzy not having a great race. And so Flavio, what can he do? Can he get close? Hertigol's actually with the fastest lap. Nicely done. The 12th place driver landing fastest lap of the race. Over to Firefox there. Now it's all over the place now. It goes to Flavio with a 109.1. This track's going to get faster and faster. You can see the rain is full stopped. The wetness on the track has pretty much gone away. It's fallen away. So, are we going to see the sun is the question. But let's check up front because breaking development up front, Igor within 0.3 of a second of Lucas Jan for the race lead right now. 3-player fight for the race lead as Firefox does get past Sabbath in the back, and now Igor trying to get by this second Mercedes. Hertigol's again goes quickest, surprisingly. There you go, 108.2. Again, this track only going to get quicker here. Igor trying very hard to get by this race leader. DRS open now, long straight ahead. No DRS, he's going to break. He looks like he shut it for a little early there. Meanwhile, over to 7th place, 3 wide, look at this. Can Jackie Jack make the move stick? It might be. It's DRS on the inside. His teammate runs him a bit wide and then fights the Ferrari. There's Murphy's Law trying to take advantage. And Jackie Jack side by side with Murphy's Law. Oh, they go side by side around. And Jackie Jack very wide, but Murphy's Law backs out of it. Firefox gets a 3-second time penalty, mind you. As the track continues to quicken. Flavio now breaking the 107s. As Jackie Jack tries to catch up to Rafa in front, he took the position away. DRS will help. And at the front, is it going to be a dive up the inside? No. Igor doesn't have the space for it. Back over to our other battle, P5. 2 battles to watch at the same time. P5 and P1. Fizzy with the quickest lap. And how much can he recover back into this race? Jackie Jack Now through this middle sector, trying to keep it close to the gearbox of Rafa. Doesn't want to lose him. Meanwhile, up at the front, going into our first of 3 DRS zones is Igor. You see the wing is open. Trying to go for the gap close. Does he go for the move up the inside? No. Turn 1, too close to do so. With the wing instantly open, and he's going to have it on the run down to turn 3. Jackie Jack now with the fastest lap. 106 is being broken. As he cannot get enough of that gap closed to contest for the lead. Rafa with another 3-second time penalty. If you're Rafa at this rate, just let Jackie Jack through, I think. Let your teammate through. Let's see if he can chase down Axel, because you're losing time right now to that AlphaTauri. Meanwhile, Jackie Jack trying to get by his teammate over in 5th. He's made the move stick. No team orders at Alfa Romeo, it would appear. They've been racing each other very hard. Meanwhile, in the back, one of the Aston Martins has caught Firefox in the Ferrari. He could go for a move here, coming out of Sector 2. Just 2 corners to go. The Aston Martin, oh, real wide from the Ferrari there. As Jackie Jack goes fastest, 106.8. DRS open for Sabbath. Meanwhile, Igor in the front has taken the lead. I beg your pardon. We've been keeping an eye on it the entire time, and the moment we turned away, it happens. Igor with the lead of the race. Certainly Lucas ready to come right back at him, though. Run down to Sector 2, though. Might be setting it up for the run down to turn 3. Certainly that's the best overtaking opportunity. Sector 1 is the yellow flag. Who is it? Oh, it's Fizzy again. Interesting to hear his thoughts after the race of why it's not been his day. Meanwhile, Lucas just lost a lot of time. Igor sets the fastest lap. 105s now from the Brazilian. As we switch over to Sabbath. Trying to cut down Firefox. Yellow flag in Sector 1. Oh no! It's one of the, it's Flavio. Flavio had a spin. And Murphy's Law spun around. Flavio with a spin. Murphy's Law with a spin as well. Now Sabbath in this Aston Martin trying very hard to get this position off Firefox, but Firefox has done well to hold the line. Now DRS around the outside, very close to each other. And Firefox concedes the position. Sabbath up in the P7. Firefox trying to come back at this Aston Martin, running wide yet again. Yellow flag in Sector 3. That's Rafa. Rafa's gone off. Rafa has gone off. And Jackie Jack, meanwhile, up in the P4. Axel looks like he's got caught up in that. He's down to P5. Axel, what's happened to Axel? Oh, he's pitting. I beg your pardon. He's pitting. He's going into medium compound tires. There's the tires for everybody. Meanwhile, Lucas Jan, this Mercedes that's been fantastic so far this season. 8th place at the opening race of the season, an anomaly. It's been a podium ever since, including a race victory. Trying to get a second one here tonight, but he's got a Red Bull in front. That's Igor, who's been really well to the pace. Firefox want to have a go back at the Aston Martin, but they're going through the technical sector. He took a wide entry here to the start of this second sector, but he can't get the switch back on the Aston Martin. And so we'll have to try to do it with the DRS zone. Oh, they're racing into the pits. they are both coming into the pits. Meanwhile, Lucas Jan, not a great exit there to turn 1. Or is that's technically turn 2, I guess, right? But still trying to get by Igor. So medium compound tires for a lot of these runners. Axel goes on to it. Sabbath, Firefox, Steph Farrell, Rafa, all swapping to the medium compounds. As Fizzy hits the pits as well. And he too goes on the medium compound tire. Lap 15. Lucas trying to get by Igor for race lead. We also got Firefox who's trying to close the gap to Sabbath. Axel trying to do the same to Murphy's Law, but Murphy's Law pitting. So Murphy's Law should slide back down the order. Murphy's Law also going on the medium compound tire. So 4 cars yet to pit. Igor, Lucas, Flavio, and Jackie Jack. Our top 4. When do they come in is the question. And it looks like right now is going to be the answer. Pit for Lucas Jan at least. Igor going to continue to go ahead. Lucas going into the pits. Flavio certainly will go past for P2. Mediums for Lucas. When's he going to come out is the question. Jackie Jack coming down the straight right now. When Jackie Jack comes out just in front. Remember, Jackie Jack yet to pit though. Over to Rafa, P9. Firefox gets his second penalty, by the way, of the game, of the race. But he also sets the fastest lap. Maybe that's why. Rafa here trying to have a go at Murphy's Law. He's going to take the outside line down to turn number 2, and he's got the move. He's stuck it. Now over to Firefox, this Ferrari. Trying to battle this Aston Martin. DRS, is he going to go for the move? He is going to go for the dive up the inside, but he doesn't have a wheel alongside, so he has to go very heavy onto the curb to bail out of the move. Murphy's Law also not close enough to dive up on the inside of the Alfa Romeo, so Rafa will retain 8th position as Flavio pits. Flavio in the pits. We'll keep an eye on the tires that he decides to select. He went with the mediums. Firefox wide again. DRS enabled. Going to run down to turn 1, but not enough track. And so Sabbath, multiple warnings. He now has a 3-second time penalty. Firefox going for the move. He dives towards the inside. Side by side they go up towards turn number 3. And does he got the move? No, the Aston Martin's coming back at him down on turn 2. The Aston Martin got DRS. And so Firefox is not going to be able to hold on to the position. He will slot behind the Aston Martin yet again. Axel here in the AlphaTauri. Right on the gearbox of Flavio. You also got Lucas Jan who wants to get the move done on Jackie Jack. Meanwhile, Firefox getting the pass done. Sabbath and Firefox have been fighting all race long. Really spectacular stuff. DRS for Lucas Jan. Jackie Jack might be helpless here. Lucas dives towards the inside. Turn 3 they go. And it's the Mercedes in front. Jackie Jack cannot hold on to the position. Aged tires, 17 lap old mediums. And it's going to be Lucas to comfortably take that position away. Rafa with the fastest lap at a 105.6. As Sabbath wants to have a go back at Firefox. Look at this. They're trying to get the move done on the outside. Can he do it is the question. Oh, they big wheels. And they're still on the track. And Sabbath does get the move done. But look at the DRS instantly from Firefox. And he's going to have a go back at him down into turn number 4. And can Firefox get the move to stick this time is the question. And the Aston Martin just might have the inside line here to turn number 5 or 6, I should say. Now 7. Firefox remains in front. Meanwhile, Fizzymon, P12, trying to have a go at Herticles for P11. What can the American do? And he gets by. Herticles suffering on those 14-lap old tires. But the Aston Martin's through for P11. Sabbath, DRS, the run down to turn 3. He's going for a move, but he's not close enough. And he'll not have it. So DRS one more time on a run down to turn 4 here. We'll see if he does here. Where does he go? Does he go for the move? He's going for the move up the inside. Firefox, can he defend? No. Sabbath, nicely done. He sends it up the inside, and he takes P6 back. Wow, Firefox, look at that move. Might have left himself a little too deep, though. The Aston Martin wants to have a go back at him, and they're getting awfully close. Firefox just keeps it on the track. Igor in the pits, by the way. He's going on to the soft compound tire. Firefox running very wide here in turns 9 and 10. Already got 2 track extension warnings. The Sabbath of turn 3 and up the inside and gets by Firefox yet again. Back and forth they consistently trade. The Red Bull meanwhile up at the front. Jackie Jack on 19-lap old mediums. Trying to hold on against Igor, who could go for a move here up on the inside. He's thinking about it. He's not going to get it done. Around turn 10 they go. DRS for the Red Bull. And easily around the Alfa Romeo for P2. Alfa Romeo's going to have DRS, but those softs are really struggling, and that's to be said. And so Igor reclaims the lead here of this race on fresh medium tires. Over to Firefox. This 6th, 7th battle has been the one to watch. Also keep an eye on Rafa, by the way. Rafa could be going for the move, and he's done. He's actually just easily gotten around Murphy's Law, who doesn't put up much of a fight. Jackie Jack in the pits. What's he going to go for? It's the soft compound tire for Jackie Jack. Murphy's Law and Rafa now for P8. DRS for the Ferrari. And there's a yellow flag in sector. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. What is that? Who is that? That Firefox. It is Firefox. Firefox goes around in sector 1. I did not see if there was contact made. Firefox got spun around in sector 1. Now back on Murphy's Law. Deep break for Murphy's Law. Going into the sector 2. Rafa in front. Lucas Jan, by the way, in front of everybody. He's broken the DRS train. He's over a second ahead of the Red Bull driver and Igor. Run down to turn number 9. And Murphy's Law losing a little bit of time coming out of the second sector. Murphy's Law with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now as well. Still, DRS Open trying to get the move done on track. As Fizzy also takes a track extension warning. Rafa with another one as well. Murphy's Law Firefox with a warning as well. Or a penalty, I should say. Igor's pulled back within a second of our race leader. But the action right now with the fight for P7. Sabbath also trying to close down Jackie Jack, who's just taking fresh, soft compound tires. They can go to the end on those softs, quite frankly. Murphy's trying to catch Rafa. DRS Open on the run down to turn number 1. Ooh, very loose out of that corner was Murphy's Law. Meanwhile, let's go to the front. Igor, soft compound tires. Lucas on the mediums. Lucas trying to go to the end. Igor trying to get the lead. Igor getting closer and closer to this Mercedes. He's trying to keep it close enough to get the pass done. DRS is going to be open for him. Down the straight they go. And can he get the move done is going to be the question. DRS Open. He's going to go for it. He's looking up the inside. He just sticks his nose up in there, and he's just ahead of the Mercedes. Yellow flag in sector 1. I believe that is Herticles again. Indeed, but it is Igor with the race lead. The Red Bull driver takes the race lead and tries to break the Mercedes domination at the top step of the podium. All 4 races won by one of these 2 Mercedes drivers so far this season. Will Igor be the first to break it up? He's got 12 laps to bring it home. He's asking these soft compound tires to do 16 laps on this stint. As Flavio in 3rd sets the fastest lap of the race on medium compound tire, a 1:05.5. Lucas continues to try and reel in Igor. Let's go over to P6 real quick. As Sabbath goes around the outside of Jackie Jack and gets the move done. Nice work from the Aston Martin driver. Run down the turn 4. That Alfa Romeo will have DRS, but momentum with Sabbath all the way. And he will make the move stick. Nicely done from him. So 11 laps to go. 9 laps, or 10 laps to go now, I should say. Igor in the Red Bull leads. Lucas Jan 2nd in Mercedes. Mercedes of Flavio is 3rd, his teammate. Axel in the Alpha Tauri, 4th place. Sabbath in the Aston Martin is in 5th. Jackie Jack in the Alfa Romeo 6th. Then you've got the Ferrari of Murphy's Law in 7th. Rafa in the Alfa Romeo in 8th. Firefox in the Ferrari 9th, Stepfarel in the Alpine is 10th, Fisiman in the other, Aston Martin 11th, Herticles in the other, AlphaTauri is in 12th, and Bobino, the only McLaren in the field, is at the bottom in 13th. Lucas Jan now trying to get past the leader. Jackie Jack, meanwhile, going to try to have this run on the Aston Martin and run down to turn 4. He tried to go up the inside in a previous turn, and he lost too much time having to back out of that, so he won't have the run down to turn 4. I'll have to stay close to Sabbath here as they head round towards the front straight. So, the complete opposite of the last race we commentated, the Singapore race, which was a much longer race. Absolutely a flash, and 27 laps have been completed. We're on 28 here. The final third of the race. And it's Igor in the lead. Lucas Jan trying to stay close. The mediums, though, going to start coming on a little bit stronger than the softs, which may be beginning to fade here from Igor. So definitely something as well to keep an eye on. Let's go over to P8, where Rafa is trying to get the move done on the Ferrari, I should say. Maybe thinking about the outside, can't get it done. Igor sets the fastest lap of the race at a 105, or yeah, 105.5. And Rafa stays within half a second here through that middle sector. Firefox again with another penalty. Jackie Jack here. Let's swap over to Jackie Jack. Trying to get a move done on track here on Sabbath. Lucas Jan also want to keep an eye on that battle. Got Raf as well. Raf going for the move up the inside of the Ferrari. And Rafa gets it done. Murphy's Law down into 8th position. And it's an Alfa Romeo 6 and 7. Ahead of the two Ferraris in 8th and 9th. Jackie Jack trying to break that chain, though, by trying to pass an Aston Martin and Sabbath. Very close to that gearbox does Jackie Jack get, but to no avail so far. Also Lucas at the front trying to get by Igor, but has not found the space with which to do so. The run down to turn 4 here might be the area which he can. Is he going to go for the dive? No. It was very deep in the corner for Lucas. The softs are definitely fading now. As Jackie Jack side by side with the Aston Martin going down in towards turn number 4. This time Alfa Romeo will hold on to the position. So Jackie Jack up to P5 now. So we swatch over to Murphy's Law, fighting with Raffle. We also got to keep an eye on that leaderboard. That leading spot in the race. Igor under a lot of pressure from Lucas Jan. Let's go over to that battle right now, actually. As Lucas is going to have DRS on the long run down to turn number 2, or turn 3. Actually, turn 4. But not enough space for Lucas to get the move done. Very close, but no cigar for Lucas so far on his inquiries about the inside line on this Red Bull that's in front of him. Murphy's Law here. DRS is going to get very close, but still Rafa too far ahead as they clean up the two, or go through the two detections, the two DRS zones, so they'll run down to turn 3 and 4. Now, back to the fight for the lead. Igor is holding on, but it's been heavy pressure from the Mercedes of Lucas Jan, and he looks like he might have gotten a better line on the run down to turn 4. The exit at turn 3 might have been a better exit here from the Mercedes. Can he go for the move? He is going to take a quick sniff up the inside, but no, the door is shut and Igor retains the position. Battle for P7, mind you. Murphy's Law getting close to Rafa, but also can't seem to get it done. Now the move for Murphy's Law up the outside of the Alfa Romeo. And can he get it? Can he keep the spot is the question. The Alfa Romeo coming back at him on the inside of 5, and the Alfa Romeo remains in front. So nice work from Rafa to stay with that. He will get the pass on the switchback. Sabbath with a 3-second time penalty, and you can see these mediums are starting to age a little bit. The softs on Igor are going to be screaming at him now, but Lucas is. I'm sorry, the mediums on Luke the softs on Igor are going to be screaming at him now, but for Lucas, those mediums don't have much life left in them themselves. Tight battle for the lead here. When they come by, 3 laps to go. Is there anything left in Lucas's tank is the question. He's got to get the move done soon. He's only got 3 laps. The run down to turn 3 will not see enough space for him to try and pass the Red Bull. Down to turn 4 he goes, DRS open. But again, the Red Bull is too quick out of the corners. And again, another lap will go by where Lucas cannot get a move done. Fizzyman has done well to recover the gap, but he looks like he's going to finish outside the points. Jackie Jack with a P5. Rafa, meanwhile, could be fighting here for P7. He still wants it on track. He's got 20-lap-old mediums, and he is not going to get it done. Meanwhile, switching back toward the fight for the lead. Lucas, not a great exit from that turn. You see Igor is getting really good exits out of this corner, or out of all of these corners, really, and that's kept the Red Bull planted in front. Sector 2, there's a spin. That's Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law has spun. And Firefox has taken P8 off the back of that. Here's the overlook of your penalties. Firefox and Rafa with 18-second penalties. It's actually going to bring a lot of different things into play here. There we go. Still, Lucas Jan trying to find the pass. It's the final lap of the race. Wide goes the Red Bull, though, on the exit to turn 1. Is that going to invite the Mercedes? He really knows he's got to get it done. Oh, he bumps! He bumps the Red Bull. It looked like contact between the two. The Red Bull goes for the defense on the inside, and around just the Mercedes. Does the Red Bull have it? No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like Lucas is going to take the lead of the Grand Prix here on the last lap. The Red Bull trying to come back at him, but he doesn't have it. Firefox has crashed. That's so unfortunate. Firefox has crashed on the last lap of the race around the final turn. Igor's taking a time penalty for the track extension behind him, and that brings Flavio into play. There's less than a tenth that separates them. No, look at that around the final turn, and it's going to be Lucas that wins the Austrian Grand Prix. He followed Igor for multiple laps, over 10 laps, but on the final lap, the Red Bull falls apart. Shades of Bahrain, and Lucas is the one that comes home with the victory. Flavio finishes just a tenth and a half behind the Red Bull. Axel comes home in a clean fourth. Jackie Jack will take fifth position. It's so unfortunate for Firefox. I mean, you gotta feel for him, really. Still some to come across the line. Murphy's Law will be up to 7th on the penalties. Steph Farrell jumps to 8th. And what a crazy race it's been, it has to be said. Jackie Jack gets driver of the day. But what a performance. It's Lucas Jan the winner as Igor takes second place. Flavio third, Axel fourth, Jackie Jack fifth, Sabbath sixth, Murphy's Law seventh, Steph Farrell eighth, Rafa ninth, Vizimon 10th, he gets a point, Herticles 11th, Firefox 12th, and Bobino in 13th. Here are your incidents, obviously. Going down the race director for you. As a race that started in, well, damp conditions, we'll say. And in the sunny summertime shine of the Austrian countryside. Well, there you have it. Lucas Jan, the winner, his second of the season. Igor comes in second place. Flavio, our championship leader, will come in third. Axel fourth, Jackie Jack fifth, Sabbath sixth, Murphy's Law seventh, Steph Farrell eighth, Rafa ninth, Vizimon 10th, Herticles 11th, Firefox 12th, and Bobino in 13th place. Now, post-race interviews are going to be open. Let's just remind the chat. So, Firefox is expressing his dismay at track limits in the chat. It has to be said. In the Discord, I should say. But interviews are very much open. I'm going to close out of F1 and see if we've got anybody for interview. I don't think so, but we'll see. Let's see if anyone's coming up here for interview. Nobody's come in for an interview. Really, guys? Interviews. We do have one. Okay, so we have one that's joined in. It's oh God, I've jacked up the keyboard here. So let's tell you who we've got. It's your man Murphy's Law. We'll bring Murphy's Law here first into the interview box. Murphy, I'm going to need you to freaking remind me where you finished because there were so many penalties in the end that
Oh,
it was just the leaderboard changed like drastically.
uh, I finished in 7th, Ben. I had a couple spins. Everyone had a bunch of time penalties. It was a fun time.
There was a lot of time to penalties. And talk to me about that, right? Because we know track limits, as Firefox has expressed this dismay in the Discord about it.
Yeah.
We do know that track limits around here is very tight. Like especially I believe it's what turn 7, the right hander
Hmm.
in the S's. I believe that is, or it might be turn 8. That one.
There are a lot of turns at this track where the racing line literally is on the limit of track limits, and you try. So I was trying my best not to corner cut or extend because I was just trying to take it easy, and when you go off the line a little bit off the track, what you do is you just get off the gas. But like it happens so fast that like when you go off, like the second it detects that you're going off and you try to get off, it's too late. You're already gonna get a warning or get a time penalty, and like that happens so much to me in this race. So it was, I mean, it, it is what it is. I mean, I don't want to come out and say, oh yeah, this track sucks, but like for track limits, it's pretty strict. But
Well, points again though, Murphy. So, good performance there. Not obviously the podium that you had at the start of the season, but still good, decent points. Third in the championship. I don't know where you're going to land after this one. I imagine Igor's going to leapfrog you because he
hmm
managed to finish P2. But nonetheless, you're fighting up there at the top end of the tables. And yes, a smaller field this
hmm
season than we had last season, but overall, how are you feeling about your season so far? And assuming you're going to be in fourth place going into next weekend's race in Saudi Arabia, how do you feel about that track? Are you confident that that's a track that you might be able to reclaim third in the championship on?
well, let me tell you this. I am super looking forward to Saudi Arabia. This is like the only reason why I'm doing an interview because in Tier Two today, in my Tier Two race at Saudi Arabia, I actually won. So I feel very confident going in. All I did was I practiced for that track, Tier Two. That was my main focus because I was leading the championship going in. I'm like, I haven't won yet. I want to win. I mean, I've been up there. So I practiced so much for Jeddah this past week. Actually, the past few days. So I really didn't have time to. I mean, I really didn't focus on Austria tonight. I mean, so, but I mean, honestly, it's why I'm pretty much kind of whatever meh about tonight. But going into next week at Jeddah, I mean, let me tell you, I hope you broadcast that track is what I like. It's what I like to call stupid fun because it is it is insane. It's like Monaco on steroids but faster because you're literally on the edge and like it is so much fun. Like to put a qualifying lap at Jeddah is like, oh my god, it is amazing. So I'm looking forward next week to Jeddah. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a fun race. I don't think anybody is gonna like it, but hey,
so, what you would say is it's stupid fun, unlike Monaco, that's just stupid. But
oh, it's not, yeah, yeah. Monaco is just stupid.
don't get me
You're just
wrong, I
trying to,
love Monaco for the history, but it's like,
yeah,
bro, it's just a nightmare to drive that track.
yeah. It's just about survival.
Yeah. So, but look, obviously for the viewers that might have missed the last 3 weeks because they weren't
Mhm.
broadcasted, we're about a third of the way through the season now. How are you feeling overall? And also, how do you feel about kind of what we've seen so far in the season? Because a lot of, I'd say it's very interesting. There's a lot of closer fighting. There's not so much of a huge gap between. Obviously, the pace of Flavio and Lucas is still
Yeah.
way above, but there's a lot of fighting even for their spots on the podiums, and the midfield's very competitive. So, what are your thoughts personally about your season so far, and then also as the field as a whole?
For my season so far, I think it's been very. I think in the whole, I think it's been a very uncharacteristic in the sense that, here you got Fizzy making mistakes, and he's usually like good as steel. Like he's usually just, I mean, on it every race, and like, it, I mean, you saw last season, I was pretty much DNF in every race, like 7 times in a row, and then to come to this season, it's just totally different. I think it's just, I don't know if it's just because of new people and new cars, and we're just at different tracks now, and uh, it's definitely been very interesting to see a different couple new like just like new faces up front, what you don't usually see. But for me as a whole, the season, I would grade myself probably so far A minus, just because the podium at Singapore was totally unexpected, especially on a straight circuit. And then to follow that up with good points finishes, I think it was a fourth. I forget where. Oh yeah, Spa. I mean, I stole that. I stole fourth at Spa, and then fourth at Hungary. And then to come tonight at seventh. I mean, as long as I'm getting points every race, it's progress, because no points isn't progress. I mean, if you're not in the points, then you're just telling yourself, "Hey, just finish, just for the heck, for just for the sake of it, just finish." But if you're in the points, if you're seventh, you got to like be perspective about how, if there's time penalties up ahead, be smart. Because there was times during the race where I was just swapping back between with Rafa because I was trying to push to get Sully, but the problem was is I was low on fuel, so like I would push too much, not have enough gas, so I let Rafa let by, and then I thought about coming in with like two to go and go pit for softs, because due to the time penalties, with Firefox and Rafa, I had a pretty much big enough gap that I could pit, get on softs, and maybe get fastest lap. That'd be an extra point, and not really theoretically lose any time. But I spun out, so that really was just about survival at that point, just to salvage as much as you can. But honestly, Ben, I think so far, halfway through the season-ish, I think it's been really good. I think the race has been really good. Hopefully it continues more.
Well, I gotta say, the penalties were probably the benefit of all the fighting that they did in the midfield. There's so much of it,
Hmm.
especially with Firefox, and until he spun and eventually landed in ninth, which was unfortunate. He actually, I feel really bad for Firefox, because I don't know if you saw, but he crashed coming out of the
Hmm.
last turn on the last lap. It was
Hmm.
it was really heartbreaking. But um, look, I went back and I said, really, did you fail to like finish on a lot of these races last season? And yes, with DNF 7 didn't
Yep.
start, DNFs didn't start, DNF,
Yep.
and then you had 7 DNFs
Hmm.
consecutively.
Hmm.
But then at the end of the season, 6th, 9th, 11th, 5th. So I'm sorry, I'm not trying to traumatize you.
Oh
And
no, no, no.
this season though, 3rd, 6th, 4th, and 4th. So very, very huge improvement personally for you as a driver, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you don't have to traumatize me. That's okay. I mean, honestly, it's kind of like I look at it as like, if you're a Detroit Lions fan, if you go 0-16, well, you can't get any worse than that. I mean, so
Well, the
if you, you
NFL did add another game to the season,
don't,
so actually,
hey, yeah, I know, but they're, in my opinion, they're the original ones to do it, the first ones to do it. So I mean, but yeah, if you could, if you're going that low, I mean, you can only go up as high as you can. And so far this season, I mean, it's been great. So I can't complain.
well, look, congratulations and on more points.
Hmm.
And we definitely look forward to seeing you at Jeddah. Look at it this way, man. You've already got more points this season, probably probably by the end of this race, maybe double even than you did all last. So,
Hmm. And
yeah,
that's a good thing. That's a good thing to look at. And another thing too is when you said, more experience, whatever. I think I got more experience than everyone else so far at Jeddah since I raced there today.
no, that's
So
fair.
I
That's
am looking forward to Jeddah.
oh yeah, I'm definitely definitely am too, and I'm sure the viewers are as well. Thank you so much,
Hmm.
Murphys.
Yep.
You have a great rest of your evening, Murphy's
All right.
Law,
Hey,
everybody.
you too.
Now we got one more to bring in, but before they speak, I need to actually update their name on the stream. So it is going to be Steph Farrell who joins us. Steph, I actually need you to remind me where you finished, because the penalties were so crazy with
Oh yeah.
at the
Give
very
me a
end.
moment.
So
I think I finished P7, but let me make sure.
okay,
Let me actually make sure of that.
so
I'm looking at my stream here. No, P8, P8. I finished 8th.
okay, fair enough. So good points, right? 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
So, and really, it brings you up to 14th in the championship. So you're going to be, I think you're going to just slot in ahead, maybe, of Bobino. So that's going to be another in a championship, of course. So that's going to be another position gained for you. Talk us through the race, because in the midfield there was a lot, and I mean a lot of fighting going on in the midfield, and I'm sure you were a part of that as well. It's just really, it was a very intense midfield with a lot of overtaking.
Actually, unfortunately for me, I had a pretty lonely race, and that's because on lap 1 I got punted to oblivion by Firefox. I mean, I'm not angry about it or anything, but looks like he kind of turned in and went for the apex in turn 5, and
Okay.
I don't know if he didn't see me or he thought he was clear, but I chose the tight line because I had a bad exit out of turn 4. I knew he was on my outside, so I go, okay, I'm going to hug the inside of turn 5 to defend the position. And I do that, and then he just turns, heading right for the apex, and he's coming at an angle where I'm just hugging the apex, and he just kind of taps my front tire and just puts me on the grass. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, that made me lose touch of the field basically, and I just kind of existed for a very long time because my pace wasn't quite good enough to catch back up.
Okay.
I was just kind of holding the pace to the guys ahead and like not losing too much, not gaining much. And I basically gained positions off of spins and off of penalties. I only 3 seconds, so I got Rafa because of penalties. I got Fox because he DNF'd, and Murphy finished right ahead of me after he spun. I almost had him in terms of penalties, but he got out of the range at the end, like in the last 2 laps. So that's basically how I gained a lot of positions. Just
Right.
kind of not crashing.
Well, I mean, hey, it's there's definitely tracks, and maybe next week is certainly one of them with Jeddah, but there's definitely tracks where that is pretty much going to get you a lot of track position. So speaking of that, though, talk to me about next week. Talk to me about Jeddah. Talk to me about what you think or how you feel about that race.
Well, considering the fact that this season I'm not getting much of a chance to practice, and considering that I still haven't figured that track out in all this time, I guess I'm just gonna YOLO that and see what happens. Because that track is still a mystery to me without racing line, and I'm working now, so I'm only getting to practice maybe like one day before the race, like not much, which is part of the reason why I'm not quite as fast as last year. I think I'm just not having the driving time, But yeah, just kind of gonna hold on and hope for the best, I guess.
Absolutely. So it's yeah, trying to send Firefox a word of encouragement, because the man crashed on the last lap, and I felt on the last turn as well. I felt so bad for him, but
Yeah, he kind of just, I don't know what happened.
he said he lost the tire, just lost grip, and he just binned it coming out of turn 10. So unfortunately,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was the penultimate lap. His car ended up on the very exit of that corner.
yeah, and the leaders had
I
to like dodge it coming in. I saw everybody
I
had to
almost
know.
crashed. I almost crashed into that.
Yeah. So, but look, in the end, 4 points for you, and another spot in the Drivers' Championship in Americas. So that will move you up into at least P10. On top of that as well, you're leading the Tier 2 Championship in EU, trying to show the EU people how it's done as well. Good job. I'm sorry, that's Murphy's Law. My bad. What am I talking about?
Yeah, that's Murphy. I'm not driving.
Yeah,
in
no,
the
you're
EU
right.
yet.
You're right. It's a little bit late at night. But look, let me put it this way: you're into the top 10, at least in the drivers here in Americas. So, how do you feel about the rest of the season? I'd say about the team championship, but you're the only Alpine. So I
No,
mean, well,
no.
Gwenny's the other Alpine, yes, but he's DNF'd
Yeah,
and he couldn't start today. So,
yeah,
um,
yep.
but how do you feel about your chances in the drivers' championship? Where do you think you most likely will be able to end up now that you have broken into the top 10?
My aim is to stay in the top 10 basically and get as far up it as I can. Just try to stay as consistent as I am, getting those fringe points here and there. because my pace is not great this season because I'm not being able to practice as much as I want to, but just basically gonna really just do the same thing I did last year of just try to be consistent, stay away from trouble, and just pick up points from disaster, I guess.
Well, we look forward to it. We look forward to how you do in Jeddah, and hopefully you pick up some more points, like you said, and especially for the rest of the 10 races of the season. Still 2/3 of the way to go. Steph, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Have a great rest of your evening.
Indeed, same as you.
Steph Farrell, everybody. That is going to do it from us here today. Big thank you, by the way, to everybody that showed up to watch. And, of course, one more time, a huge thank you to our sponsors, SimSok and Driver 61. Big thank you to them. They bring all of the they help bring all the action to you guys. You definitely want to check them out. Driver 61, well-known YouTuber. A lot of great racing information there that it can actually help you with your racing pace. What could also help you with the racing pace is the Driver 61 Sim Racing Academy. You can get a 25% off consultation session and free coaching session when you use code AOR Driver 61. Visit driver61.com/sim-racing-sim-racing-academy for more information about how you can get one-on-one group training and racecraft sessions that will help your motorsport technique and sim racing pace. The other sponsor, SimSok, big thank you to them as well. Fizzymon's a big fan of them. You have maybe he wasn't wearing them in tonight's race. I think that's why he didn't really have the best of races, maybe. He just forgot to put the SimSoks on. But definitely check them out. SimSok.com for socks with strategically placed unique grips, which special Cool Max yarn that wicks away moisture, arch support, breathable panels, cushion heel for comfort during endurance events, all of which means there will be no more feet slipping off your racing pedals. That's SimSok, SimSok.com for more information. Thank you so much for everybody for stopping by. It's been fantastic to commentate and bring you this race. Round 5 of the North American F1 season is done and dusted. Next week, it is going to be Saudi Arabia and the Jeddah Street Circuit. We look forward to seeing you there. Until then, have a great night.